Hey, it's Saturday. It's a beautiful day in late November, and we're at House of Harley-Davidson today talking about the LiveWire. Al is going to explain the LiveWire, Harley-Davidson's electric motorcycle, to me. Then we're going to take it for a test drive today. So here's Al. Tell me about the LiveWire.
Tom, first thing you're going to notice when you get on here is there's nothing for your left hand or left foot to do. We don't have a clutch. We don't have any shifting. It's a direct drive mode. As soon as we open our throttle, we still call it a throttle, we've got forward movement. I mention that because what's the first thing most riders do when they get on their bike? They start it up, they whip the throttle.
Right.
If you do that here, you might have an unexpected
I rev the engine, it's actually going.
Yes.
All right.
Got it. Most of your controls are just what you're used to. Turn signals are in the usual spot. They do the same things. High, low beam, horn button, all of those things right where you expect them to be. Our starting procedure is just a little bit different, so when you're ready, I'll ask you to get up on the bike and I will walk you through that. There's a couple of safety interlocks on this machine to make sure that we're in the go position and ready to start.
All right. How many of these do you guys have right now? Because for a while they were hard to come by.
In my inventory
have
now, I have 4. I have this in the fuse yellow,
yeah,
and then I have 3 in black.
Okay. Color selections. How many colors do they come in?
For 2020, there were 3 colors: the black, the fuse yellow, and a fuse orange.
Huh.
One of the things we've got here is a fully adjustable suspension. That takes a little bit of time to dial in, so I don't know that we're going to do that today. Typically, from the factory, we're set up for about 180-pound riders, so if the ride quality isn't exactly what you want, please remember that we can adjust that and fine-tune that for you.
Wow.
So what we're going to do now, you've got the security fob in your pocket. I'm going to have you take that and turn it to the on position.
Just like on the regular bike.
Your panel's going to come up. So we'll light it here, showing that the panel's active. You've already retracted your jiffy stand. That's one of our safety interlocks. I'll have you hit the start button there. When you do, your sidebars will turn to green. Green to go. Right now you are active. If you touch that throttle, you've got full movement. You may, not right away, but after a minute or two, you may feel kind of a pulsing in the saddle, a little haptic feedback from the bike, just to give you a reminder that it's on, it's active, and it's ready to ride.
That's the bike telling me it's on. It's warning me that if I touch that, it's going to go.
Yep.
Wow.
So any questions on that stuff?
No.
Just
It's
remember,
very weird. There's nothing for my left foot or my left hand to do.
you'll get over that in about 40 seconds.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think one of the most enjoyable things about this machine is just how smoothly it operates. It is absolutely a joy to ride. You can ride it very casually, you can ride it very enthusiastically. And we can change those ride qualities. If you look here, it tells us our mode. Right now we're in a road mode. That button there will change our mode, so we can do that on the fly. So I'll ask you to click that button while you look there.
Oh, wow.
That's sport mode. I'm
Right.
gonna ask you please to stay out of sport mode.
Okay.
Until you get a little bit used to it. Click it again.
What does that do? That tightens up the suspension? And changes
Sport mode
acceleration?
gives us maximum acceleration
Yeah.
and dials back our regenerative braking. One of the things you'll notice when you're riding, I think road mode's probably where you want to leave it. There's an eco
There's an
mode.
eco one. Is that better economy on the battery?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then a rain one is food.
Rain is going to detune our performance to eliminate, to reduce or eliminate the opportunity for that rear wheel to slip in less than ideal conditions.
Okay.
When you get on the throttle and go, and you let off the throttle, you will feel that regenerative braking kicking in. We're actually spinning the motor backwards to add juice back into
So
our
it's
battery pack.
charging while you're stopping?
And when you get a little bit of experience on this machine, you probably get pretty good at really not needing to use your brakes very much, because you'll use that regenerative braking to your advantage.
Okay.
When that regenerative braking kicks in, we'll also have our tail lights go on so the traffic behind us knows that we're slowing and coming to a stop.
Okay.
Any questions on that stuff?
No.
Enjoy, my friend.
All right.
We'll see you back here in a few minutes.
See you in a couple days. I mean, a few minutes. Yep. So I'm going to take a ride, and we'll let you know how it is on the LiveWire here at House of Harley-Davidson. They got 4 of them. If you want to come check them out, houseofharley.com. So here we go. It's just There's nothing for my left side to do.
Nothing to do.
All right. Let's go inside and talk to Al and find out how much so I can get one of these. That is incredible. That is incredible. You're back. So that was spectacular. Get in here a little bit closer because Al's going to tell us how much to put a bow on this and I can take one home. That was incredible. Were you, the first time you rode one of these, were you like, I can't do it without an expletive here? I mean, holy shit, right? Seriously.
Yeah, you pretty much
Wow.
summed that up.
Wow.
In training and in groups and in conversations, you know, we can talk about stats, we can talk about acceleration, we can talk about weight, we can talk about all of those things, but we kept coming back really to one very basic element, and that was, you got it right.
It was incredible. It was incredible. I mean, just so quick. I got a red light up here, and I was, you know, normally you don't want a red light, and I got the red light, so then at the red light I got to test the acceleration, and it's just,
It's instantly up.
it's incredible. It's the fastest acceleration I think I've ever felt in any vehicle.
You
know,
have
it's
a
quick.
published 0 to 60 time of 3 seconds on this machine.
Yeah.
And there are supercars in the world that don't go 0 to 60
Right,
quickly.
right.
So from an enthusiast point of view, we've got a really very capable machine. I would also tell you that it's a very forgiving bike. It's a much better bike than I am a rider. And with the combination of our suspension, our regenerative braking, our ride modes, we can really set this up and ride it and get better at it and grow into it and really become accomplished riders and ride it very, very enthusiastic.
I would say as a new rider, this would be a good way to learn because you don't have to worry about the shifting and the clutch and all of that. And you get used to riding motorcycle. And then if you want to go to, you know, one of the more traditional machines, you can learn those things. This is a, but it was incredible. What was I gonna say? It's, I mean, my mind is blown. It was so, and nimble. That's what I was gonna say. It's so nimble. It's like a part of you. I mean, it's light. It's a light bike. Is it the lightest bike?
548 pounds. It is among the lightest that we make.
Yeah.
And our balance on this, our pivot point, our weight is concentrated in what we call our RES, our rechargeable energy storage system. So our heavy parts are down low, and that's one of the things I think we're feeling when you talk about nimble, is that we're really not wrestling any big heavy parts up high. They're all down low, and they're helping us with
So
that
easy
balance.
to yeah. Now you talked about is this where the battery and things are?
Correct.
How far will it go on a charge, and how long does it take to charge? And do you have to, like, if you're out somewhere, is there a way to charge it if you're not at home? Or
Yes. Range is going to depend on our mode and how we're riding. And we will get our greatest range in more of an urban environment where we've got some stop and go traffic. Again, we'll take advantage of that regenerative braking. We would expect about 150 miles in that kind of ride. If we're going to get out on the freeway and lock the cruise control in at 72, 73 miles an hour, we might see 80, 85, 90 miles, again, depending on condition. Think about 100, 125 in combined riding. For charging, our charge port is here, where we traditionally find a fuel cap. Our charge port is there, and then my charge cable
right there.
is stored on the bike.
Yeah.
This
Is this 220 or no?
That's 110.
Just 110.
So I'll use that for home charging. And from 0 to 100% charge at level 1 or home charging will take us about 10 hours. So overnight.
Yeah.
When we use DC fast chargers or level 3 charging, 0 to 80% will take about 40 minutes. And we use 80%, we use 40 minutes because EV drivers have been studied pretty well. And 40 minutes is about all they're going to give for charge time.
Right.
They're going to check their emails, they're going to have their lunch, they're going to do those texts. 40 minutes time to go back to work, they're going to unplug and go.
And that's something you set up like in your garage?
Well, there's more and more fast chargers all around town. We have one on the outside of our building here in our LiveWire lane.
Pull in, browse at all the clothes and things, and it's charged.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And when you become a LiveWire owner, we'll establish an account for you with ChargePoint, which is a nationwide collection of chargers. You'll have an app on your phone. If you're looking for a charger, it will tell you where that nearest charger is, if it's being used, and if it's being used, approximate wait time.
Okay.
And for the first 2 years of ownership, that DC fast charger is complimentary with the LiveWire.
Wow, all right. Well, you're talking about ownership, so there are 4 of them here at House of Harley-Davidson on Layton and Greenfield. If you want to come check them out and talk to Al about the LiveWire, what are we talking about? Everybody was going to say how much. What are we talking about?
In black, you're looking at $29,799. In color, like the first one you rode, $30,149. Big numbers, I know, but we got to remember our maintenance cost is very low. Because we don't have oil, we don't have air filters. We basically have tires, drive belt, and brakes. Your energy for that first 2 years is complimentary at fast chargers.
So you're not paying for gas. Yeah.
And if I take a traditional machine, what we call ICE, internal combustion engine, and I go about 100 miles on one of those, it's going to cost me about $6. If I do the same 100 miles on a LiveWire, it's going to cost me about 80 cents.
Wow. So you're saving, it pays for itself actually.
When we take everything together, really the price point on this bike, it becomes much more affordable when we take all those factors into consideration.
You didn't mention the battery when you said maintenance, so how long is the battery going to last? Do you have to change like the tires? Or?
Your battery is part of the original factory warranty, 24 months, front to back, top to bottom.
Yeah.
In addition, the battery manufacturer will give you an additional 3 years for a total of 5 years warranty on that battery. So we're very confident in that technology, and as battery technology improves, our RES, our storage system, uses industry standard architecture. So in theory,
new generation battery.
New batteries, we unplug that technology, put in that generation.
So when my phone battery dies, it's cheaper for me to get a new phone than it is to replace the battery. With this, it's the other way around. When they come out with new generation batteries, they can get swapped right in.
Absolutely.
And you love the bike, you know, I get it. Al, if you want to know more about the LiveWire here at House of Harley-Davidson, come on out and see them on Layton in Greenfield or online, houseofharley.com. Or call, and Al seems to be the guy that knows everything about the LiveWire. Can I tell you, that was spectacular. I mean, it is almost December, it is cold, and I didn't care. My eyes are watering. I'm out there riding this thing, and it was a spectacular day. So House of Harley-Davidson, place to come to check out the LiveWire and see Al, and you're going to love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. Check it out at House of Harley-Davidson, the LiveWire.
So you might have the next